tis the season.
Uh-oh.
It is Christmas, and I wouldn't be your boy Arizona Verse without raining on people's parade. If you love Christmas and you want to put Christ back into Christmas, this, that, and the third, and all that good stuff, whatever. Shouts out to my boy Charity Croff on IG. Think you should watch this. Educate yourself. Yeah.
Oh no.
My name is Charity Croff. It's Christmas time! But why this time? I mean, I'm sure you already know December 25th has nothing to do with Jesus' birthday. According to the Bible, he was born sometime between spring and early October, but it was absolutely not December 25th. So then what is the reason for the season? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's most likely because in the year 336, the Roman Emperor Constantine was trying to do away with paganism and really make Christianity a thing. Well, at that time, the biggest ancient festival was something called Saturnalia. This was a festival celebrating the god Saturn that lasted a little over a week starting on December 17th. The ancient Romans chose this time to celebrate Saturn because it was during winter solstice, which is when the sun is in a very specific position in the sky. Now, we won't get too far into that, but listen, once you learn why Saturday is named after Saturn and why Sunday is named after the sun, and notice how most religious activities take place on one of those 2 days, a lot of things will start making sense to you. Anyway, so Constantine thought, since everybody's already celebrating at this time, I can just make this the day that we celebrate Jesus, and the whole world can make a much easier transition to Christianity. You gotta realize that at this time, most people worshiped multiple deities and were so-called pagans. Well, since Constantine and the Council of Nicaea were hell-bent on making Christianity the most powerful religion on earth, they just slapped their holidays on top of pagan holidays so the people could convert easier. Side note, the reason why Easter is always celebrated on a different day every year is because it's always the Sunday after the first full moon of the vernal equinox. Super pagan, nothing to do with Jesus' resurrection, nothing. Anywho, Christmas trees were used to decorate Saturnian temples, mistletoe was used by ancient druids because they believe it had mystical powers, and presents were given during winter solstice to celebrate the spring to come. Pagan, pagan, pagan! And you ain't even know it. So pagan, in fact, that Christmas was outlawed in the New World when the Puritans first got here because they knew how pagan it was. It didn't become okay till the 1680s when they realized that gift giving could be profitable. Speaking of pagan, what does that word even mean? Like, why do we act like pagan means devil worshiper? The actual definition of pagan is any person holding religious beliefs other than the main world religions. So in other words, anybody who is not Christian or Muslim. Words like that is how Christianity was able to take over the entire planet by creating a bad word for people who didn't convert. He is pagan! Kill him! Back to Christmas. Who is this guy? Well, it's Santa Claus. He's actually based off a real person named Saint Nicholas, but you probably knew that already. But did you know that Saint Nick was a bishop in the Church of Turkey? He anonymously gave 3 bags of gold to a poor family, and after that everybody just made up this legend about anonymous gifts coming from a guy named St. Nicholas, and Santa Claus was born. And now he lives in the North Pole even though he's from the Middle East. So that means that originally Santa Claus's gift giving was a noble act of helping the poor. But in the 1800s, companies found that it was far more profitable to make it about little kids, because of course people buy gifts for kids before they buy them for poor people, and so companies like Macy's started using Santa's name to make Christmas into a corporate capitalist fiasco. But here is the biggest point of this video. In America alone, we spend more than $465 billion on Christmas presents every year. Those are gifts for one day, $465 billion. Well, check this out. According to Charity Water, you can buy a well for $5,000 that will provide water for 250 people for 20 years. And according to Feed the Children, you can buy a meal for 300 people for $120. So if you do the math, $120 times 3 meals a day times 365 days a year, then add in the cost of the water well, you could provide 300 starving people with food and water for a whole year with only $136,400. So if we take that $465 billion we spend, we could feed 1,020,000,000 people for a year. Well, it gets crazier. According to World Food Programme's hunger statistics, there are only 795 million starving people on Earth. So that means with the money America alone spends on one Christmas, we can literally end world hunger for a year. Now let's take that one step further. If we just did away with the entire gift-giving part of Christmas, and every year we use the same money that we would have spent on presents to instead feed the poor, there would be no such thing as hunger, and the entire world would have food. Merry Christmas. I love you. One more thing, if you want to learn everything that I talked about in this video, plus...
Oh my God.
Sorry, too late. We had a cut for time.
No, and follow him, Charity Croff, on Twitter. Yeah, he does a lot of real good videos, and I do love that because at the end of every one of his videos or whatever, whatever information he's given to you and he's trying to get you to digest, at the end of the video, he just wants you to know, I love you. I just want you to understand. So shouts out to that brother. Shouts out to Charity Croff. But man, again, Christmas, put Christ back in Christmas. Christ was never in Christmas. That was never a Christian holiday. That's a pagan holiday.
But they got you, didn't they?
They got you. I put Christ in the name and you loved it. Like, they got you. So
But there was a real infamous episode of South Park where he discovered he wanted to be platinum or something, or he wanted to make a gold record or something or another. And he figured, man, how can I easily make so many people buy my music? And he goes, and he's making shit, talking shit, saying that if he needed a dumb Christian to buy a dumb Christian album, and there's so many Christians in the world that he'd be able to hit whatever. And again, it works because you need product. Every there's a niche for everything. God damn it, my homie is making fetish porns with just feet. Like there's no sex involved. It's just feet and gooey shit. And
I swear to God, I said the same thing if I was a woman. There's no way I would not have an OnlyFans. Because again, like you just said, you don't even have to have sex. You ain't got to be showing your lady parts or anything like that. You could literally make a foot fetish one and you'll be raking in the dollars. Like,
real talk, man, the Holy Spirit really tells me I need to do these fat fetish shits where I put like mayo like on my rolls and I don't know, and have someone lick off of it. Like,
I guarantee you there's an audience for it. I guarantee you.
I'm just afraid of blowing up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'd be like, dang, that's the thing. Like, man, I did all this music stuff. I did all this podcasting thing. The mayo in the belly. That's the thing that blew up. All right. I see you, God. I see you.
And then everyone's going to bite. And then it's going to be a whole thing, bro.
I'm the one that started this mayo in the belly shit.
It's the little fucking thanks I get.
This is the thanks I get. Oh my God. My God. So again,
the religion shit, man. Like, bro, one of the biggest battles in my marriage was my defense of not wanting to give into the corporate shit. Listen, let's definitely get some presents because hell, I want to be spoiled too. God damn it, But it's like I was telling you, man. One of the times I was working a collections gig, and I was right on 19th or up the freeway in Peoria, bro, near the 17. And I remember the homelesses, bro. Every holiday, these motherfuckers had Thanksgiving turkey hats, or it was what's that Irish day where everyone gets drunk and drinks Guinness?
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Mo bitches had the fucking little green little fuzzies fucking swinging around. Valentine's Day, bro, had the little hearts. Like, who the fuck is giving this bitch inventory? Or is this just? And I heard about there being organizations that pretty much make panhandlers, send them out. Like, here, like there has to be there. I don't know if it's conspiracy or not, but to think that motherfuckers with these of the time, I don't know, what do you call those, bro? It's not trinkets. It's not souvenirs. It's fucking probably goddamn propaganda, brother. Is what I fucking
basically.
Yeah. And I mean, again, and you feel for people who really need it, right? But for that motherfucker that's specifically looking for 76 cents to get on the bus back to Tucson, you know what I'm saying? But they're in the South Phoenix at a fucking AM PM looking hella high. Like, you just don't know.
And it's one of those things too, because recently I had left just again the universe is funny. I never have cash. I always just use my card. I never have cash on me. And so I went to Walmart and I had bought something. For whatever reason, I had cash on me. So I got like $3 and change back. And I had it in my pocket. And then I'm like leaving Walmart. And then it's the Salvation Army person out there with the bell, so on and so forth. I'm like, oh, let me just go ahead and give them these $3. So I went over there and slid the $3 because I was like, it's going to fall in my pocket or it's going to be in the car. Like, I don't use cash anywhere I go. And then I got home, and then later on that day, I loaded up TikTok, and someone was like, do not ever donate to the Salvation Army because they hate gay people and they hate this, that, and the third. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I gave money to the ops. I was like, I didn't know I was giving it to the ops. Like no one told me that.
First,
Why am I just learning this?
They're gonna dig up this audio and be like, you know what? He supports fucking I don't know what the hell. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be
Secretly
the one
Republican.
clip. They're gonna cut all the rest of the stuff out. Be like, oh, see, he Republican. Look, he be donating to the Salvation Army.